It's a new year, but we have the same good old host for Tech for Dummies. So sit on down, grab some popcorn because we got a lot to cover, folks. It's time for everyone's favorite show, Tech for Dummies. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this show. Welcome to Tech for Dummies. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Tanner, joined always by the beautiful Mr. Darren Quick. How you doing today, Darren?
Doing great. Sorry it's been taking us so long to get a show between him and the weather. We've been pretty busy these last 2 months. Hope you guys enjoyed our best of show. Hopefully next year we'll do something like that again.
Now, before we get to anything, I heard the best of show was pretty much a marathon of every single Tech for Dummies episode this year. Now,
pretty much was a year review.
Why would you do that to the poor souls in these four towns?
Because I thought it would be nice to have a nice year in review of what technology we've been through this year.
Man, 90% of our show is filler. The year in review is just...
No, I made sure it wasn't all filler.
So you literally got rid of 90% of the show. All right, so we have a lot on our rundown today. We haven't been here, oh God, November was our last show, right?
Yeah.
Because December we did the holiday thing, and we're in January now, and I've been busy, you've been busy. The one day you weren't busy and I wasn't busy, the weather just sucked. So, I couldn't get down here, you couldn't get down here. So I have a lot to cover. So where would you like to begin?
Let's start off with the biggest news event of last month. I mean, this was huge. It was so huge that it started way overseas huge with the Sony getting hacked. And the big, huge publicity stunt that it caused for the movie Interview.
Well, I can hear the echo for some odd reason, which is pretty cool. I like the echo. I have a lot to say about this. I think it was an inside job from what we've heard. Like, some people started blaming it on North Korea, and there was a lot of misinformation that came out due to this, because to give the people who didn't see the Interview a rundown, Seth Rogen made another another Seth Rogen-y movie, and it was based on assassinating Kim Jong, whatever his name, Kim Jong Iron Fist leader. It's all about assassinating this guy, and pretty much, yeah. Like, it was I want to say it was a stupid film, but it was funny if you like Seth Rogen films, but the hoopla it caused makes you wonder, was it worth it? And I would say, no, it wasn't worth it. But what are your thoughts about this?
My thoughts are that, and talking to people prior to the show, that I can agree that no, I haven't got a chance to watch the movie.
How haven't you seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie.
What is wrong with you?
I'm not like you can afford Go ahead.
It's $5. How can you not afford a $5 movie? I can't afford a $5 movie. But I can afford $5 Mountain Dew. Wayne's World, straight Wayne's World reference there for the people who have seen that movie.
I've seen Wayne's World. I've seen Wayne's World.
They do the public access thing, and he's like, subliminal advertising, even though Elizabeth has told me I'm not allowed to do that, but, buy some. Back to what I was saying. The Interview is a somewhat decent movie. Like, have you seen, what Seth Rogen movies have you seen?
I haven't really seen any Seth.
Then you really want to understand the Pineapple Express. Have you seen Pineapple Express?
I haven't seen it, but I know about it. I mean, it's one of these, I've heard it.
You gotta do some research for the show, buddy. But really, it followed the standard plot of a Seth Rogen movie. It had its laughs. It was sort of funny, but it was really not worth the hoopla it caused. It was not really worth the hack stuff, the whole this and.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that I've heard from people is that, and by people I mean the guy in the control room right now, was that Sony had laid off like 2/3 of their tech department. right before this happened. So that leads people to think it's an inside job too, because it's like you're going to lay off your tech department, and then you're going to get hacked. It's kind of like put one and one together. But
I mean, what I heard, and I heard from what I heard, is that it wasn't really North Korea that did this, because North Korea's internet alone is not capable of doing something like this. So they might have had help outside of North Korea, like China or Russia. But now, what I've been hearing and what more up-to-date stuff, it's probably, like I have to agree, it's more of an inside job.
Yeah, I think it is what it is. In the end, it was a 3-star movie, a 3 out of 5 stars. It's just a normal movie, but yeah, just a lot of white noise, just a lot of rah 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 rah, and.
But what irritated a lot of people too is these movie theaters were shutting this. We're not showing this movie, but but they're willing to put it on digital release.
Well, here's the thing. They pulled the movie, and when they pulled the movie, it was a lot of people were like, "You are now saying that the terrorists have won. Today, the terrorists have won," and that pissed a lot of people off.
It irritated me a little bit too.
I have to yawn. Sorry. But it pissed a lot of people off, and then Sony, under the pressure of the United States, was like, okay, we'll release the movie as a digital download and we'll let people rent it. And it's just all a bunch of hoopla, it's not worth the time.
Nope.
Some good references in the movie, though. So, moving on, what is the next thing on our list?
Moving on from Sony to Microsoft, the other identity here. For us Internet Explorer users, are you tired of the Internet Explorer yet? Because they're going to give you a brand new web browser in Windows 10. It's going to be what's it called now?
I have a Windows story for you when you're ready.
Spartan.
This is.
It's supposed to be not as good, though. I've heard it's just going to be just as hacky, just as bad as IE. But
let me tell you the story about Windows Explorer, IE. Let me tell you a story about IE from the tech office I work in. As most people know, we're mostly Apple school for the most part. But over at our tech center, we have some computers that have Internet Explorer. So I go over, and someone needs their cache cleared, the cache, whatever the pronunciation of it is. Cache, whatever you call it. Do you know how hard it is
to clear a cache out of Internet Explorer?
Internet Explorer?
Oh, yeah.
I had to Google it and follow like 6 steps to clear that. And it's like, are you dumb? Like, Firefox, it's easy. Safari, it's easy. Chrome, it's easy. But Internet Explorer, this is why people hate IE. I personally hate IE. I think IE is the bane of most people's existence. I think it's awful. I'm moving my foot. I think it's awful. But that's just my little side note. It took me about 30 minutes to do not even 30 minutes. It took me 10 minutes to do a 2-minute job. Thanks to Internet Explorer. But I don't know anything about the Windows news. So back what you were saying about them, because you're the Windows guy here.
Yeah. The Spartan is supposed to be coming out, and I think of what I've heard, it's just going to be another Windows Internet Explorer over the top of this new browser. It's not really up to date browsing just yet, with the new websites and how Google Chrome is, it's easier to follow and all that. What I've heard, like I said, it's just going to be the same old browser no matter what. So they get rid of Spartan, if they change the name, it might not be the, you know, it's even if they change the name, it's still going to be a sucky old little browser.
Right.
Also, okay, anything else you want to say about, talk about that?
No, that's pretty much all I got about that because I don't know much about it. So, what's next on the rundown?
Well, let's see. We can also talk about what Windows, Windows 10, but it's going to be coming out here late soon. But they just said what to expect. How about this one? Have you seen this one about the guy who got detained in China for sneaking in iPhones?
Yes, I heard about it. I didn't see the story. What is the story?
This guy was detained at Chinese border with 94 iPhones strapped to his body. According to this article in Mashable, a Chinese man was tempted to cross the Chinese border with 94 iPhones strapped to his body, and shows pictures of him strapped. Phones were strapped to his torso, long legs, groins. According to Chinese report, the pictures shown was with the stock IE Phone 6 model still connected to him. Talking about some nice fan who really wanted to get those iPhones.
I don't understand why they were smuggling iPhones into China. I don't understand why you can't. I guess I just don't know Chinese government well enough.
I think because Apple and China are still they're still fighting over iPhones. It's good old their democracy at work.
Democracy. China's a communistic state. Sidebars.
That's why I said their democracy.
Yeah, their democracy is not a democracy.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not. It's communism. Geez.
What else do we have?
That was a big one. Well, if you really want to go, anything else you got over there?
I'm trying to log into my Twitter quickly.
Other than, because the rest of the stuff we can talk about entertainment for dummies.
Let's talk about the FairPoint strike here, because that's
good. That's a good one.
Have you noticed Have you noticed your internet service has sucked recently? Do you have slow speeds?
Geez, I'm criminy.
Do you wonder why FairPoint workers are picketing? Well, that's because FairPoint workers are on strike, because the company has decided to screw some people out of funds that they need to deserve. Oh, what? Darren's got something to say.
No, screw people over, right here.
And a lot of us are feeling, I guess, the wrath of FairPoint. So annoying. You're going to say what you got to say, because I'm about to lose it over here.
All right. I was a FairPoint customer for over 2 or 3 years. And slowly I have gotten rid of this lovely company. In November, just before Thanksgiving, when they had their lovely outage and blamed it on the snowstorm that was 2 days earlier, and said, oh, sorry, our outage is because of the snowstorm. That was the final straw. I said, screw them. I'm going over to Vonage, and I've been to Vonage ever since, and I'm happy. I got rid of FairPoint. I don't want nothing to do with FairPoint anymore. I am happy with them.
Now, here's the thing. FairPoint's been god-awful yet. They still, and I don't understand why, but they still are managing to, but their workers are on strike because their workers wanted, they couldn't, for those of you who know how unions go, the union wanted something, FairPoint was like, no, but it's like 90 days later, they are still striking. It's kind of like, okay, at this point, FairPoint needs to come to the table and not cave to the union, but,
come up with some sort of compromise.
Come and negotiate at least. FairPoint, the business side of FairPoint was just saying no to negotiations for a while. And then, it's like, these are workers, these are people in this company that this company is in too deep. They've already filed for bankruptcy once because this company took on more than they can chew. They filed again.
I think they were twice, because I think the reason why Verizon bought them out the first time because the company was under bankruptcy.
FairPoint never got bought out by Verizon. FairPoint bought out Verizon's lines. Verizon was selling their lines.
Oh, okay.
Because Verizon used to be a service provider. So Verizon sold their lines. FairPoint decided to buy the lines. FairPoint took on a lot more than they could chew. And then after that, FairPoint filed for bankruptcy. My mom lost her job the first time FairPoint filed for bankruptcy because she was a flagger for GMCS, and they were contracted by FairPoint. So it's a side note. But no, with that being said, no.
And also doesn't help that they've had over 700 complaints since November.
You would think if 700 people have complained, maybe, just maybe, it's time to cave into the union a little bit.
And the federal, not the state, state courts are looking into it because of so many complaints against customer complaints.
All the state courts in New England are starting to look into it because FairPoint has literally said, they've just said, screw you customers, we don't care anymore.
Exactly.
And it's really pissing a lot of people off because it's like, and this is the issue with Vermont is that who are you going to get besides FairPoint?
Nobody.
If you're lucky.
It's FairPoint or AT&T, the only other two choices you have up here.
If you're lucky, you might live in a city that has Comcast. Comcast sucks.
Comcast phone sucks.
If you're in Burlington, you got Burlington Telecom.
They suck.
And that's about it in the state. Maybe in southern Vermont you have some more options.
Oh, actually nowadays they have Vermont VTEL.
But for up in Franklin County alone, the only option on my road is FairPoint.
FairPoint, and now that I got a flyer the other day, Vermont Tel is coming up here too.
Are they really? I wish they would because
Vermont Tel's coming up here. Other than landlines, the only other option is the option I took was Vonage, which is a VoIP, voice over the internet protocol, which is pretty good. You know, you hook this box up to your wireless router, and you make phone calls on your internet.
I never tried Vonage.
It's pretty good.
But still, it's just the fact that FairPoint is just so god awful. Like it's annoyed so many people by now, and ambulances are driving by. It's just I don't know what to say anymore about it. It's just awful, and that's. I feel bad for the workers involved.
I do too.
I feel bad for the families that, these people are going on. If you haven't, they have a page on Facebook. But it's like the workers on strike and FairPoint are striking every day. And they're trying because they're not even asking for more. It's more, they don't want everything
All they want is more benefits.
It's not even the fact that they want more benefits as much as they don't want to lose the benefits they currently have.
Yeah, they don't want to lose the benefits they have. And they want just a regular say in what goes on.
Here's the thing. When you're working on telephone poles 20 feet in the air sometimes, 10 feet in the air sometimes, that's a dangerous job. It's not.
And the only thing holding on to you is a 4-inch leather strap.
But it's just not even that. It's just like you're going out in the trucks, you're dealing with technology every day, you're outside every day. It's like, if there are workers that deserve some rights, it's these guys.
The rain, the snow, the sleet, no matter what, they're just as bad as post. I mean, they're just out there as much as post office.
And
workers.
even more because it's like, internet goes down at 1 a.m. in the morning. You know who's waking up for that. You know who's getting those calls. You know who's out. Yeah. It's the same thing about electrical workers. Like, who's out during the winter storms trying to restore power. Trying to restore these lines. It's these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm a very pro-union guy. Everybody knows I'm a bleeding liberal. And it's just, I'm so pissed at FairPoint right now. Like, I would not want to support that business because of what they're trying to do to these people and their families. So.
I don't want to support FairPoint anyways because
that's pretty much my thoughts on the FairPoint strike. We have a PSA to kick to, right?
Yep.
What is our PSA on today?
As always, Special Olympics.
We have the Penguin Plunge coming up in February, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
We'll talk about that when we come back from the PSA. So we will be right back.
The In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." Today, all of you young athletes are in the arena. Many of you will win. But even more important, I know you will be brave and bring credit to your parents and to your country.
Back to Tech for Dummies. Like always, support the Special Olympics, be a friend, be a helper, volunteer, do some of the events, They really do have a fun event coming up because it is winter, and if there's one thing notorious about winter of the Special Olympics, it's the Penguin Plunge. Darren, do you have some plunge details for us, or would you like to talk about the Penguin Plunge a little bit?
Oh, the Penguin Plunge here in Vermont. Let me look it up.
I know they have a location in Newport and Burlington. Burlington's the one you see.
Burlington is the most famous one for us. It is in February. Yeah, February 7th. Down at. Registration is $25 per person. It's the September 7th, 2015 at 11 a.m. down in lovely waterfront Burlington. And this is the one that is the big one for the biggest fundraiser for us. Over in the past years, they have raised over $600,000, I think it was, for us.
I kind of want to do the Penguin Plunge in Burlington.
For us, for everything. This pays for the running of the organization. This pays for pay for UVM when we go down there in the summer. This is the main one. This is what helps the Vermont Special Olympics, the VTSO, to help keep them going. Because if they don't keep going, we don't keep going, because there won't be an organization for us to be part of. So please go down February 7th at 11 o'clock. Go jump into the lake. It would be freezing cold. And support us down there. Also, next weekend, please come down to Barrie and South Burlington. We're having our team bowling tournament down there for the year, and that's Sunday. That's pretty much it from Special Olympic news for me.
Oh, I think I'm going to sign up for the Penguin Plunge, Darren. If I can get $150, because that is the minimum, I believe. Where is it? The minimum in Newport is $75. That is on Super Bowl Sunday on February 1st. All adults, whether taking the plunge or part of the team or individual, must pay $75 in addition to $25. So, really, if you raise $2,000, I can get a robe. I kind of want to do it. What do you think?
It's the same thing for the Burlington one. It's $175.
It's just a little more for Burlington. You have to raise more for Burlington. Well,
I say go for it. If you want to go freeze your
mayonnaise off. If I raise $2,000, I can get a hotel room at the Hilton Burlington for Friday, February 6th, and a ticket to the hotel. Oh man, you could get so much stuff if you. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. If I can raise the money, I'm going to do it. I would genuinely be excited about it.
But actually, I've heard from people who've actually done it, it's not as cold as you think it is.
Well,
because you're literally walking from a heated tent out, down the stair, or down the ramp, into the water, turn around, walk back up the ramp, and right back into another heated tent where you get dressed again, dry off and get dressed and out the door.
I think they should make you freeze. I think I'm gonna do it if I can sign up for it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna do it for you because I am gonna do it for the team. I'm gonna do the because I said, didn't I say on this show that I was
Yes.
going to try to do the penguin plunge? If I can do it, then I'm gonna do it. So with that being said, it's time for our
Entertainment for dummies.
it's time for our favorite part of the show where Darren and I talk about TV shows that you would normally talk about at the water cooler, but we don't have a water cooler in here, so TV, entertainment, you name it for dummies. So what do we got today, Darren?
As always, this time of year, YouTube, I'll start off with this one.
Okay.
YouTube has released their best of 2014 video, and I've seen it. It's pretty good. It stars. Let me look it up. It stars luckily few of our the best the ones that were hits last year, and I'm showing it. The best the ones that were hits last year, and I'm showing it, playing it. It's,
Oh, you got the YouTube Rewind.
yeah, the YouTube push button and everything. So it's a pretty good video if you guys want to check out the video this year's video. Oh,
What did you think? Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. It was really good.
Always gonna finish fast.
Darren is playing audio. Can you turn down for what? Oh my God! Did I just make the crappy joke of the day? Today's joke of the day for terribleness is can you turn down for what? That's a selfie video.
Yeah, selfie video.
Because you'll be playing this alongside.
Now they start going into
Happy.
happy.
Oh, that's so awful. So.
Well, Happy was one of the very popular
YouTube
shows.
year in review. What do you think? Compared to the last couple of years? Do you think this year's a stronger year for YouTube, or?
I think it was a pretty good year for YouTube. I don't know.
I still think
The
Gangnam
numbers.
Style was one of the bigger years. I don't think anyone's gonna pop that. That was a great year in review movie.
Yeah. But yeah, this one they show you all the selfies. This one they're doing the ice bucket challenge, all the ice bucket challenges.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah, I think we both got challenged last year.
Did you do an ice bucket challenge? I know I did an ice bucket challenge here because we did one as a studio, as a station, and then I challenged.
I was kind of hoping that somebody here in the studio would pick me, but it ended up being one of my friends on the team.
I had someone. I did one as part of the volleyball team, and I did one as part of the television station. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
year in review.
YouTube year in review.
What else you got here?
What else? Okay, the new shows coming out for 2015. Feeling these. Let me get this. Oh, excuse me a second. Thank you, YouTube.
Please hold while we connect you.
Please hold while I get rid of YouTube. Some of these shows that have already been out, that are on this list, like Marvel's. Actually, no. They're going to have a new Marvel Daredevil, a.k.a. Jessica Jones. That's going to be on Netflix.
Interesting.
Yep. And see, another one's going to be American Crime Story, The People versus O.J. That's going to be on FX. That one I'm going to miss. Oh, Jeffrey Tambor plays... No, Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to be the as OJ.
Cuba Gooding Jr. as OJ. 4 out of 10. Would not try.
Marvel Agent Carter.
Carter.
That's already been out, but it's coming out. And of course, his favorite, and I haven't had a chance to see it, Gallivant.
Yeah, Gallivant's pretty good.
I haven't had a chance to see it.
Oh, wow, that's not the school I'm looking for. Sorry, Gallivant is have you seen The Princess Bride?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 21st century of The Princess Bride.
I've seen previews of it. I want to see it. I just, either something else is on at the same time, or, you know what I mean, it's just haven't had the time to
Yeah, it's
watch it.
It's good. It's good. It's fun. I would recommend watching it if you get a chance to watch it. Kind of a funny show. Very good to enjoy with family members. But yeah, I'd say Gallivant's pretty good.
They're remaking Odd Couple.
Are they really?
Yep.
Oh,
Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon.
Thomas Lennon.
What, anything else you want to say?
All I have is Archer's new season, which has been out recently.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the episodes yet?
Oh, yeah.
It's been pretty good. It's been
It's
decent.
been pretty good. No, I still like last year's.
I didn't mind Vice. It was okay. It's okay. I didn't like Cocained Up Pam, so you know.
Pam's a little more raunchy this year, though, so far.
Well, I mean, she's always been like that.
Evil Dead. Netflix got another one, Bloodlines, coming out. And also, of course, excuse me, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
That'll be interesting because they've just started running the promos for Dave Letterman's last
show.
Late Show. So it'll be interesting to see when
they're redoing Heroes, calling it Heroes Reborn.
Are they really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Best Calls, that's AMC. Dig, AMC. American Crime on ABC. Woodward Pines.
Should be a good year for TV. It should be a
real good year for TV.
Expecting some cool stuff to come on TV this year. So.
And in the movies, it's going to be a real good year in the movies.
Yeah. So.
You want to talk about the little controversy about the Oscars, or do you want to just play over the top of
You
that?
want me to be perfectly honest? I don't give a damn about the Oscars. I don't care at all. I've never cared. I never will care. I don't even watch the Oscars. But there is one thing I do watch as. This is everything we have for the show, right? So we're rounding it up now. There is one thing I do want to watch is I like to watch football. Now, as most of you know, I'm a Houston Texans fan, and my team missed the playoffs because, well, God hates Cleveland. And
Houston even more.
And the Browns couldn't win one game, which they had a 10-3. They couldn't win one game, which meant God hates Cleveland, so the Texans missed the playoffs. Angry. But it's coming.
We won.
The Super Bowl is here. Well, by the time this show gets on next week, it'll be Super Bowl week. The hoopla will begin. So.
By the way, the Patriots all the way, number one.
So the two teams that made the Super Bowl this year are the Seattle Sea Chickens and the Boston Patriots have made the Super Bowl this year.
Thanks to that nice, lovely whooping we did last week, this Sunday or last Sunday, 40-7.
45-7 was the score.
45-7, even bet.
So, as you can tell already, Darren is obviously a Patriots fan, which means I will be rooting for the Seattle Seahawks. So, what do you think of the upcoming game? What do you think of the Super Bowl?
It's going to be a close one, and I'm thinking we might be able to pull it out.
Seahawks are going to win 50-0.
We might pull it out, though. The last time they showed the last time we played, we lost by 1 point.
Now, here's the interesting thing about the Super Bowl.
Seattle.
Here's the thing about the Super Bowl. It's one of the best times of year for TV. The commercials, the halftime
commercials.
Show. We'll have a lot to talk about from that Super Bowl.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
And what?
Katy Perry, buddy. It's Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Carrie's her ugly sister.
Katy Perry and who's doing the other one? Lenny Kravitz are going to do the halftime show.
It'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, and for you for your little kids out there, the girl who sings Frozen is going to do the national anthem.
Let it go. I can't sing anymore. Sorry. So
That's what we've heard so far.
I had a thought here that I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. The Super Bowl should be a decent game. The Seahawks got it. Did you see the Seahawks-Packers game? Wow!
I watched that
The
game.
punter threw a touchdown pass. The Seahawks won in overtime. What a great game. So this year's Super Bowl should be really good. So that really is just kind of what we have to end the show with. You know, you're going to root for the Patriots. I'm going to root for the Seahawks. And when our next show, we have a lot for the next show because we'll have some more episodes of Archer. We'll have some more TV review to do, and we will have a review of every commercial from the Super Bowl commercial review. So, is there anything else we need to talk about on the show tonight?
No, that's it. I think we finally done the show.
So, would you like to do your sign off, and then I'll do mine?
Yep. As always, thanks for watching. Please follow us on YouTube for Tech for Dummies. At Tech for Dummies. There on YouTube where you can watch previous episodes. Check us out on bloggerspot.com and wordpress.com. There you can leave questions and comments about the show and also take our lovely quiz. That's it for me, Dustin.
And like always, I'm Dustin Tanner. I am I am everywhere on this network. I am on sports commentary. I'm behind the camera. So I'm wishing you all a happy New Year. I hope your New Year's resolution is still going on by now. We're about 20 days in, so 90% of the world has failed, and gyms are no longer full. I hope everyone has a great night. You can always follow me on Twitter, dtanner2194, and until then, see you next time.